This is the project dashboard. It's the top level of the Clipper application. If you click on the project dashboard button here, wherever you are, it will return you to the dashboard view. This is the logout button to leave the application, and here is a feedback button that takes you to the website and gives you an online form to fill in on our project blog. If you would fill in that and give us any comments, that would be really great. Everything in Clipper lives inside a project that defines our packages of clips, clip lists and annotations. So to get started with this first demonstration, I'm going to create a project. I have to name it first, and I'll call it Foodie Stuff. I create the project. I can give it a description by clicking on the pencil icon there, and I'm going to call this Vegetables. Click on the save icon, and there we are. So now I open this project to start creating clips and clip lists. And when we open a project, we'll see the default collections that the current Clipper application is pointed at. Down the left hand side here, we'll see YouTube, some BBC videos, the Wellcome Trust is here, and we've got local media, which I'll demonstrate in a later video. The YouTube collection is the most thoroughly integrated at the moment into Clipper, and this gives you a good indication of what Clipper would look like if it was installed in an institutional context. The other main parts of this interface at this level inside the project are these buttons across the top. These indicate the workflow that we undertake in Clipper when we are working in a project. In the collections, we select items from one of these collections to go into a project, and once they're in the project, we start to edit them to create clips which go in the project clip list, which is over here. So I'm just going to start by YouTube, which is the easiest to work with at the moment. I'll do a search for vegetables, and we've already got that predefined. You can change that search to anything that interests you. So I click on that, and up comes a list of videos. I'm going to click on this one because it's got nice clear transitions. And up it comes in the player to the right hand side here.
Vegetables. Artichoke.
I'm just pausing it here. I've got to jump ahead in the timeline to here to create a clip.
Leek.
Okay, I think I'm interested in leeks for sure. So I'm going to add this resource now to the project resources. I click on that and I get a confirmation that I've added it to the project resources. I go into project resources, and you'll see now that that's been added here on the left hand side. It's now a resource in my project. Now I've decided that I want to create a clip that starts at this point, and you'll see that the player has just retained that state, although we've changed now into the project resource view. So I'll click on the create clip button here, and you'll see it's picked up the time at the moment at the start of where I am. I'm going to click start to confirm that, and then I'm going to play this a little bit longer.
Lettuce. Mushroom.
And I've decided I want to end this clip with mushrooms, so I'm going to end it by clicking on this button, and it picks up the time where I am. So I've now defined the beginning and the end of my clip. I'm going to give it a title, and I'll call it Leek, Lettuce, and Mushroom. Now here I could add any text I want. and I can even spell it right. I can also copy and paste text in here from a Word document or any other source. And if I click on the Save Clip now, I can preview the clip.
Lettuce. Mushroom.
And you'll see that the clip ends at the point that I've decided it should end. So I've just created my first clip from this resource, and now I've decided I'd like to create another clip. Before I go any further, I will just reduce the scale of the web browser view to make it easier to work with. So I'm going to create another clip from this resource. So I'm going to browse along the timeline to find something else I'm interested in. And I think I'll go for radish. So I'm going to call this radish. Play it for a little while. I'll set the start at this point. Play it.
Rhubarb. Scallion.
And that's enough. So I'll call this radish, rhubarb, and scallion. I'll put my description here. I should say that later versions of this, in fact the next version, will have a full text editor, full rich text editor. Save my clip. That's great. I'll just close that for now. Now if I go to the project clip list, I'll see that I've added 2 clips from the same resource. And if I want to add a third clip, I can just go back to this view, go along the timeline, click on create clip, play.
Zucchini.
I'll choose that as my start point. Start. Zucchini. More about vegetables here. Scroll down, save this clip, and in the project clip list now we should have 3 clips. I see that the information about each clip, the title, a summary here of my description, and the start and the end point. I can also preview the clip from here.
Lettuce.
And jump between the clips. I can also, at this point, I can share the clip by clicking on this icon, and I'll come back to sharing and publishing clips and clip lists in a later demonstration. And here we can delete a clip by clicking on the dustbin icon. Am I sure? Yes. And that disappears. And also talk about annotations later. And up here we've got an icon for sharing the entire clip list. Again, I'll talk about that later. That's the end of demonstration 1, which shows us selecting a resource from a collection and creating multiple clips from that resource and making them into a clip list.